Ladies and gentlemen, if there is one gentleman in this country who can easily become the next president of the Republic of Kenya, or who can be made the next president of the Republic of Kenya, then that gentleman is none other than Musalia Mudavadi. Number one, Musalia Mudavadi is favored by numbers. Politics is a game of numbers. If you look at the population of the Luhya nation, they are number two, if not number one, in this country. In terms of registered voters, the Luhyas have the potential of either becoming number one or number two in terms of tribe. But Musalia Mudavadi has been unable to unite the Luhya nation. The Luhya nation has been elusive because of Musalia Mudavadi. Why would Musalia Mudavadi, for example, fight with someone like Eugene Wamalwa, or say the Kutu Secretary General, Francis Atwoli, when he can actually use the leaders and the elders and even the friends to these guys to unite? Francis Atwoli, in his own way, made Musalia Mudavadi the leader spokesperson in 2016. Was it 2017? So I don't see why Musalia Mudavadi should actually be fighting these guys. So the numbers is not helping Musalia Mudavadi. Number two, Musalia Mudavadi is actually prone to making grave political mistakes. I don't know whether at the right time or at the wrong time. In 2002, when LDP was planning to support him, Moi decided to appoint him as the vice president of the Republic of Kenya. It lasted, I think, 3 or 6 months. If Musalia Mudavadi had not accepted that position, probably Musalia Mudavadi would have been a serious opposition leader by now. And because he's acceptable, you never know. He might have been the president maybe after Kibaki. But that never happened. Number three, Musalia Mudavadi is acceptable. The other advantage he has is acceptable to the deep state. In fact, all sides of the political divides, I don't think there's anybody who has a problem with Musalia Mudavadi. Ruto is currently working with him. If you ask me, Musalia Mudavadi can join Raila Odinga and Raila Odinga will be comfortable with him. In fact, if Ruto were to decide today and support Raila Odinga, I think both Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga would agree that, okay, he can even become the next president. They'll be comfortable with him. So he has always made it very difficult to become the president or to be made the president. I'm certain that if Uhuru Kenyatta had powers, Musalia Mudavadi would have been his preferred choice. But making Musalia Mudavadi a preferred choice is also just another job on its own. So recently, Musalia Mudavadi decided to leave President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga's camp, which in my view has its advantage and disadvantages. Then he joined William Samoei Arap Ruto. And after joining Ruto, they agreed that they were going to start campaigning together. So yesterday, Musalia Mudavadi was in Vihiga for his homecoming. Today, Musalia Mudavadi and Ruto are actually in Busia. But there are several things which I noted while Musalia Mudavadi and Ruto were in Vihiga. So in this video today, I want us to do a critical analysis of Musalia Mudavadi's homecoming in his home county of Vihiga County. But before we do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, I want you to take a second or two and click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue. Thank you guys for your continued support. Because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. I want us to be very brief, to the point, so that I don't consume a lot of your time. Now, Musalia Mudavadi and Ruto were in Vihiga County. I observed several things. Maybe there are other things which you observed which I failed to capture. Probably you let me know. The first thing I observed during that event is actually the branding. On this platform, I've always stated that if there's one area which the Deputy President has always invested heavily, then it is branding. Whenever the Deputy President is attending a political event, UDA will always brand fully. In Vihiga, that was not the case. In Vihiga, the branding was actually in favor of ANC party. So everything was made to appear as ANC. The branding, the podium, the theme, the tents, although they share yellow, but it was predominantly ANC party. To an extent that if you are to attend that event, you will definitely know this is an ANC event. It's unlike in Bungoma. I'll also be waiting to see how the branding will be done in Busia, because Busia is predominantly Raila Odinga, though it is in Western. In Vihiga, that's Musalia Mudavadi's home county. But there's something which I also observed. Maybe you need to also help me understand. You know so well that whenever the deputy president and his brigades are in an area, one thing his allies always do is to ensure that they are fully branded. In this Vihiga rally, I noted that William Ruto's allies, the members of parliament from Western Kenya, were not branded. Those of ANC party and Ford Kenya were fully branded in their party colors. Ford Kenya elected members of parliament were branded Ford Kenya. ANC elected members of parliament were branded ANC. But William Ruto's allies, take for example Didmas Baraza, he was not in UDA, he was not in ANC party. When Musalia Mudavadi was launching his party, Didmas Baraza had a very nice attire, splitting ANC one side, UDA one side. You go and look at Dan Wanyama, the way he was dressed. Again, you'll agree, they were not branded anywhere, not ANC, not. But I also observed that majority of William Ruto's allies were not present here. I don't know why. But the point I'm trying to raise is that something is coming out, which takes us to the second thing, the zoning. It is clear that William Ruto and Musalia Mudavadi have agreed that they are going to do zoning. And one of the areas they are zoning is actually in Vihiga. So they are going to leave Vihiga to Musalia Mudavadi to decide. That's why the branding was actually ANC. And that's why you saw William Ruto's allies were not in UDA branded merchandise. I think maybe they were also sending a message to the DP that if you play around, then your party is going to be swallowed by this, or we are totally against this party, allowing this party to swallow UDA. Because in an ordinary circumstance, Didmas Barasa and the rest, they had even had the opportunity of getting just ANC cap waweke. Na you are UDA. Ama they would have just put on the ANC colors, but they did not. So basically, what I gather here is the fact that there is zoning which is going to happen. And the ANC allies of Mudavadi are comfortable with it. And that's why they were displaying their party prominently. William Ruto's allies are not comfortable with this zoning. And that's why they rejected any attempt to put on UDA colors. That's the second thing. The third thing is now the leaders who attended this event. You know, one question which most Kenyans have been asking is whether Ruto got value for the money if he used any on Musalia Mudavadi, and whether William Ruto's rallies would actually be different if Musalia Mudavadi was not part of it. William Ruto has held several rallies in Vihiga. Several leaders are always with him. Let me go through the list. I just want to read the list of those members of parliament who attended this event. And I want you to tell me how many belongs to ANC. Now there was Umboko Milema Emuhaya. He belongs to ANC party. There was Cleophas Malala, the Kakamega senator, ANC party. There is Beatrice Adagala, the Vihiga County Women Rep, belongs to ANC party. There is Alfred Agoi, Sabatia, again ANC party. So ANC party had how many members of parliament? Omboko, Malala, 2, Adagala, 3, Agoi, 4. Only 4. While ANC in Kakamega alone, they won more than 4. So it means the rest decided not to attend this event. Then we go to the other guy was Mumias East, Ben was Shiali. Then that's Jubilee, actually UDA now. Then there was Majimbo Kalasinga of Kabushai for the Kenya, Chris Wamalwa Kiminini for the Kenya, Mululu Ijendi Malava. This guy, was he elected on ANC or was he elected on Jubilee? I think ANC. Then there's Dan Wanyama, Jubilee, Dismas Baraza, Jubilee, Charles Gisome, I think also ANC. Now, those are the only members of parliament from the larger Western who accompanied Mudavadi to this event. And I have a problem with that. So I think William Ruto was telling him that you need to do something. You need to do something. So that's the other thing I observed. The other thing which these guys were trying to do in Vihiga was to explain why they dumped Raila Amolo Odinga. Basically, Raila Odinga was a subject in this rally. At every opportunity, they tried to explain why they dumped Raila Odinga. And the explanation were very simple. That we supported Raila Odinga, but he didn't respect us. So let us wait and see what Raila Odinga will come and tell the people of Western Kenya. Because Musalia Mudavadi never supported Raila Odinga in 2013. Right? Raila Odinga picked him and made him a principal in NASA. So let us wait and see what he wanted Raila Odinga to do for him. So they've been trying, they're at pain explaining to Kenya, to their supporters why they had to dump Raila Odinga. And that explanation is actually because the voters on the ground have not really agreed with them. Which takes me to the other thing which I observed, the heckling. You know, if you followed that event very closely, first of all, the crowd. Was the event really successful? Maybe yes, maybe not. But there was a point when some leaders were trying to attack Azimio, then the crowd were shouting them down. Maybe the crowd just wanted to listen to their messages, what they have, but not to talk about others. So for me, heckling is unfortunate. But Musalia Mudavadi must figure out how he's going to go about all this. For example, today they are headed to Busia. And there's a friend I always read his post. It's called Kamasasa Ephraim. Let me just see if I can get the post. Let me just see. Kamasasa Ephraim is saying, because he's an authority on politics down there, he's saying the last time Ruto visited Busia, it wasn't Rossi. He couldn't attract a crowd to boss around. In addition, Hasla alikemewa na kufukuzwa. So that's what he's saying. Today, Hasla is headed again back to Busia County in company of loyal leaders, Musalia and Weta. In their county tour, they will skip Busia town. Remember in 2013, when Musalia was on the ballot as a presidential candidate, Busia didn't treat him well. He didn't like it. The lawyer kingpins who can't address fellow lawyers in Busia town. So basically, what Kamasasa is trying to say is that Busia town is a bit hostile to them. So they're not, in their 2 days rally, they're going to avoid Busia. So they're likely going through those other towns, but they'll avoid Busia town. Maybe they'll organize another event for Busia. And lastly, is the fact that it was also an opportunity for Mudavadi to actually introduce Ruto to the Luhya nation as the man he supports. The ANC party has always insisted that Mudavadi will be on the ballot. But Ruto spoke last. Maybe because he's the deputy president. But again, that's a signal. And based on the speakers and the speeches, it was clear that William Ruto is the preferred presidential candidate. So basically, Ruto scored big this day. he got public endorsement of Musalia Mudavadi right inside his backyard. I don't know what to think. That's my take. Until next time, this is Lee Makwiny. Bye-bye.